Good evening and happy Thanksgiving. I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thanks for joining us on 6 and at 6. But before we get to the big story, we want to update you about breaking news we've been following today in Frankfurt.
It's sad news. A man has died in a crash on US 421 in Frankfurt. The scene is at the intersection of Schenkel Lane. Now, that wreck happened just after 3 o'clock. Police say a car crossed the center line and hit the other head on.
We just continue to think about the families on Thanksgiving. You know, someone lost their family in an accident, and we're going to do everything we can to figure out what happened. But in the meantime, just be praying and thinking about them.
Police shut down that intersection for hours to clear the scene, but the road has reopened. The victim's name has not been released.
A man's life changed in seconds as he protected his community from a dangerous serial bank robber. In that moment of bravery, Scott County Deputy Jamie Morales was shot, sacrificing his life as he knew it.
For the first time, he's opening up on television about how he's doing and how overwhelmed he is by everyone who has supported him, either through donations or just a simple hug. LEX 18's Lee Searcy sat down with Morales as he gives thanks on this holiday. And that's tonight's big story at 6.
Scott County Deputy Jamie Morales lives to make the most of every day. His drive and determination served him well in the U.S. Marines.
He definitely ingrained that in us. No matter the situation, to always come up top.
He did. Morales excelled in marksmanship, martial arts, and became a certified rescue swimmer, just to name a few of his accomplishments. His transition to law enforcement continued his desire to serve. Now, more than ever, his life motto holds true.
Just to adapt and overcome. That comes back from the Marine Corps.
And that's exactly what the 28-year-old plans to do since his life changed September 11th, the night he was shot while going after a serial bank robber. His injury left him paralyzed for now.
At the beginning, it was, obviously very emotional. Your whole life just changed. You're wondering what's going to happen.
Just over 2 months later, Morales does rehab 5 days a week.
So we have seen some improvement, and we've also regressed some in some areas, but we're fighting through it.
He's adapting and still setting goals.
I kind of had to set some new ones, but as of right now, get back on my feet if possible, and eventually going back to work. Hopefully as a police officer. If not, then I'll make the best of the situation.
This tough Marine and dedicated deputy remains encouraged by a community that's backed him since day one. 217! His supporters 217 strong. His homecoming, nothing he ever expected.
It was almost like a dream. Everybody screaming and yelling, and that I'll never forget. And I think that on a day like today, Thanksgiving, it's probably the best time to give thanks to, the community and my family and my girlfriend that, have been there for me. And yeah, it's been amazing.
He's thankful. Number 217 is strong.
That number has become like a part of me. So when I see it anywhere, it's like seeing myself there. I hope I represented it to the best of my ability.
Oh, you're still representing it.
Yeah.
Lee Searcy, LEX 18 News.
Also in the news this evening, a two-car collision in Montgomery County did more than just damage the cars. The impact was so powerful, it pushed the cars out of the intersection and into a nearby business.
One man was also taken to the hospital as a result of the accident. It all happened on a busy intersection in downtown Mount Sterling on North Maysville and West High Street. Eleanor Buckley has that story.
It's annoying in the extreme.
A rough start for two Thanksgiving Day travelers' morning. It all started when two cars collided in the busy intersection of North Maysville and West High Street in downtown Mount Sterling. The impact from the collision caused the two vehicles to come into this Realty Business's parking lot, causing damage to two pillars and smashing into the side of the building, loosening bricks.
From the amount of damage to the building, it looks like the other driver, the one that hit me, was moving at quite a clip, especially to be headed towards a light that was at that moment still red, as far as I know.
And it isn't the first time Caswell Pruitt Realty has been the scene of a collision. The owner tells me in the 40 years his family has been here, it's happened at least 3 times. One of the drivers of today's crash even remembers it happening before.
No, I actually witnessed one almost exactly like that, but in the other direction on Easter morning about 10 years ago, right here at this single intersection.
And although it may not be the perfect start to Thanksgiving, Archie says he is thankful everyone is okay.
I'm thankful for the fact that I'm still alive and that pretty much we were able to gather everything back up, and we still have another vehicle that we can get on the road within a few days.
Covering the news in Montgomery County, Eleanor Buckley, LEX 18 News.
And authorities tell us the other driver was taken to the hospital with a minor head injury.
Lexington police are investigating a late-night drive-by shooting that sent a man to the hospital. It happened around 10:30 on Carlisle Avenue, and the investigation continued into the early morning hours as officers looked for shell casings and talked to neighbors. Police say a man was walking on Carlisle Avenue when a vehicle pulled up when someone inside opened fire. The victim was taken to UK with life-threatening injuries. No word about any suspects at this time.
We've traded the plenty of sunshine from this afternoon for clear skies, and we're now getting a great view of what will be the full beaver moon later on tonight. This is a live look from our Kentucky One Health WeatherBug camera in downtown Lexington. From the Lexington Center, temperatures still running mild at this hour. It's 48 degrees at Bluegrass Airport, and temperatures are trending into the 40s area-wide this evening. The MaxTrack Live Doppler has been quiet throughout the day, but it's still monitoring the skies across central and eastern Kentucky. It's going to get a little bit of a rest during the day tomorrow, but will be fired back up as we go through Friday night and even continuing throughout portions of the weekend. So on tap tomorrow, some Thanksgiving leftovers maybe on your table and also across our skies. We'll start off with sunshine, but end with clouds on your Black Fridays. We're anticipating the first round of showers to track on through Friday night, but should be clearing out in time for kickoff of the Governor's Cup. Tailgating could be a little bit damp over in Louisville on Saturday. Meanwhile, for those travelers heading back home on Sunday, or maybe you're coming back to the Bluegrass, we will be seeing some showers tracking in later in the day. I'll have more of those couple of rounds of showers moving our way coming up in your complete storm tracker forecast.
Thank you, Jill.
A man and a woman in Madison County are in jail accused of hitting an 11-year-old foster child and dragging him through their home.
But the woman tells LEX 18 that story isn't true and police have it all wrong. Connor McHugh has the story.
After escaping out a window, Richmond police say an 11-year-old flagged down a driver near the Smith Village Apartments yesterday. According to an arrest citation, he was covered in numerous marks and bruises and claimed he was just beaten. To the surprise of some neighbors, detectives soon arrested Joe Waldeselassie and his fiancée, Erica Perkins.
I don't believe that he done anything to his kids or nothing like that. He's the main one that provides for him, takes him to the doctor and stuff.
Police say the boy tried to escape earlier, but Waldeselassie tackled him and dragged him back into the home. Their officers say Waldeselassie struck him several times with a belt and dragged him more before the couple locked him in a room.
I don't deal with that, you know what I mean? You can discipline your children, but you don't beat them, you know what I mean?
From jail today, Perkins said she was watching the boy, who was a foster child, for her mother and only had him for about 10 minutes.
I don't put my hands on my own kids, so I wouldn't put my hands on anybody else's kids.
When asked about the child's claims and the bruises found by detectives, Perkins had this explanation.
They either happened before or after. The bruises that are on him, I've not seen them, so I'm not sure what they're even talking about.
Covering the news in Madison County, Connor McHugh, LEX 18 News.
Police in southeastern Kentucky say a woman shoplifted yesterday with her young daughter in tow. The shoplifting happened just before 5 yesterday at the Corbin Walmart. That's in Laurel County. The sheriff's department says Corinda Vaughn tried to leave the store without paying for about $43 worth of merchandise. With her 9-year-old daughter. Vaughn was arrested and charged with theft under $500 and unlawful transaction with a minor. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, and shopping. One of these things is not like the other, but some people won't even think about separating them on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, some dedicated shoppers have already been in line testing their patience. Jacqueline and I talked to some of them over at the Best Buy on Nicholasville Road in Lexington. Jacqueline, at least it's been a nice day to wait in line for all those deals.
Yeah, it's been a perfect day to wait in line. The sun was shining earlier, and if you can believe it, Nancy and Kevin, the line to get into Best Buy began at 11:30 last night. That's what one woman told me earlier today. Most of the people here at Best Buy are in line for the TV sales. Now, Best Buy isn't the only store in Lexington that has had lines today. JCPenney in the Fayette Mall had lines of people cashing in on the early Black Friday deals. Shoppers say they're giving thanks for some low retail prices, and some have been going straight from the Thanksgiving table to the stores here. And one shopper says he usually doesn't shop on Thanksgiving Day, but he couldn't resist a good deal.
Weird, you know, the past 10 years or so, it seems like they've been opening up on Thanksgiving Day. Black Friday being the next day after Thanksgiving seems to be more the tradition to go get up at 5 in the morning and, you know, see what happens.
You can find more Black Friday deals and which stores are open at what time on LEX18.com. Covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
We'll be right back.